Hello everybody, Mark, aka the Nerdy Punk, back again today for a new video. Hope you all are doing well, hope you're having a great start to your week. Normally don't film a video on a weekday, but today we have a very special package that came in the mail. I have my Criterion haul. Yes, I have 13 titles here to show you guys. Went a little bit overboard with the flash sale last week, and wanted to show off these titles for you guys. I typically try to keep it in the single digits, especially with a flash sale. Nonetheless, I went overboard a little bit, but I did have a $50 gift card that was able to get me 2 of these titles for free, and then basically half off another one of these titles, because they are all Blu-rays. So with the exception of one that was actually $25, everything here was $20. So I ordered a couple extras since I got the free title. So I'm gonna set these down for a second here, and we're gonna go through these titles one by one. So first up, we have Inland Empire from David Lynch. This was my must-have if you watched my Criterion shopping video that I did last week. This was the first one that I put in my cart. This just came out the day of the sale, which was last Tuesday. This is a David Lynch film that I have not seen. He is my favorite director of all time, but I still haven't made it through all of his films. And this is the latest one to get the Criterion treatment. One notable thing about this, every other David Lynch film that's in the Criterion collection is on a digipack format. So like Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive, all of those movies and many others are on digipack in the Criterion collection. So this will be the first release that's not a digipack, as you can see, just a standard case. This is Spine 1175, and it's from 2006. And I really know very little about this. I know it's a Laura Dern movie, and I know that they shot this on some kind of experimental technology for the time. They shot this mainly on, I think, like cameras, digital cameras that came out in the mid-2000s. So the quality on this is notoriously pretty bad, but they did get the Blu-ray upgrade here, and this is supposed to be the best that the movie has ever looked, outside of maybe a handful of theater screenings. So I'm really excited to dive into this one. Next up here, this was my $25 title. That is On the Waterfront, starring Marlon Brando. This one is Spine 647, and it is from 1954, directed by Elie Kazan, who is one of the most beloved filmmakers in all of the history of film. I have not seen any of his movies. Excited to get into this one. I believe Marlon Brando is a boxer in this film, or a aspirational boxer, so interested to see this one. Next one up here, this is actually the only title that I've already seen before, and this is The Breakfast Club, Spine 905 from 1985. John Hughes film. I've of course seen this, I've seen it several times. It's a classic movie. It has the Criterion treatment, so I had to have the Criterion release, even though I think I have the standard Blu-ray. It's just a fantastic, fantastic film. Next one, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls from 1970 to Spine 836. And this movie was written by Roger Ebert, the famous film critic, one of my favorite film critics. And I really kind of grew up with his reviews. Even though I wasn't a huge movie fan back in the day, I do remember him all the time and reading some of his reviews and listening to him. So I'm interested to see his only writing credit. I've heard this movie is kind of out there, kind of weird. I have the original Valley of the Dolls on Criterion as well. I haven't actually checked that out yet, but I've heard great things about this. Kind of out there, unique, interesting, so definitely excited for this one. Next title here is Being John Malkovich, which is Spine 611 from 1999. This is a film directed by Spike Jonze and written by Charlie Kaufman. And I have several fun facts with this movie. So I love Charlie Kaufman's writing. From what I've seen of his, he wrote and directed a film in 2020 called I'm Thinking of Ending Things, which was a fantastic film, very underrated from that year. So I really like what I've heard from and seen from Charlie Kaufman. And then of course Spike Jonze directed one of my favorite movies of all time, which is called Her, in which Joaquin Phoenix basically falls in love with his computer. So he makes interesting films. And also my other fun fact here, so John Malkovich is from Illinois, which is where I'm from, and he actually went to my university. I went to a small university called Eastern Illinois University. Few years ago I graduated. Nonetheless, we don't have a lot of famous alumni because it's a very small school, regional school, and John Malkovich is one of them. I don't think he ever actually graduated. I think he only went to Eastern for like a year, but we claim him. So I'm interested to see this. Heard it's again kind of weird, kind of unique, interesting. So excited to have that one in the collection. Next title up is In the Heat of the Night, which is from 1967. It's by 9:59. Stars Sidney Poitier. And everything I've heard about this movie, I think I'm gonna really like it. It's kind of like classic Hollywood. It has a lot of commentary on race relations in the United States, especially the American South. And when this was made in 1967, these issues are still very contentious at the time. And really, they still are contentious. It's still, the stuff that this film tackles still matter a lot. So definitely can't wait to check this one out. This one, I was debating about this one. This is Jean Delmon, 23 Quai du Commerce, 1080 Bruxelles. I don't speak French, so I apologize if I just butchered that. This is from Chantal Akerman. I haven't seen any of her films before, but this was recently named the #1 film of all time, according to the British Film Institute with their Sight and Sound poll. I'm really interested to see it. Obviously, if something is rated the #1 film of all time, I have to see it. I've heard this is kind of simplistic in a way, very kind of bare bones in terms of we really just follow this woman through a day in her life. And I've heard some people say it's kind of boring. Some people think it's a masterpiece. So I'm interested to see where I kind of fall on that line. But I had to have it. #1 film of all time, according to somebody. I gotta see it. Next title, this is one that I've added into my cart several sales, but I never actually picked up. And this time I decided to actually pick it up, and that is All That Jazz, directed by Bob Fosse, stars Roy Scheider from Jaws fame. This is spine 724 from 1979. So basically it follows Roy Scheider's character who's creating this, I think it's a play or a musical of some sort, and kind of follows him and his life kind of falling apart. So it's an interesting story. I've heard great things about it, so I had to have it. We're still going. Lots of titles here. Next up, this is Rebecca by Alfred Hitchcock. Spine 135 from 1940. This movie I heard fantastic things about, of course. It's a Best Picture winner. I want to see every Best Picture winner, so... but like I said, I've heard just incredible things about this, and I don't have a ton of Alfred Hitchcock in the Criterion collection, so this was a must-add for me. Next title, La Piscine, which is from 1969, spine 1088, a French film, and again, heard great things about it, a lot of recommendations for this one. And it seems like a movie that I'm going to really enjoy watching in the summertime. Kind of a romance, as you can see by the cover art, but should be an interesting watch, definitely. Probably won't get around to it till close to the summer. Feels like a mood movie type thing, so we'll see. But I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. 3 more titles. The Royal Tenenbaums. This one I have basically cut out of my my cart every single sale, it seems. Finally bought it. This is spine 157 from 2001, of course directed by Wes Anderson, and this is one of the Wes Anderson movies I haven't seen. Many people think it's his best, so I think Grand Budapest Hotel is his best. We'll see if this can top that. Just an amazing cast, like every Wes Anderson movie. Should be really interesting watch. I haven't seen anything from this period of Wes Anderson's career. Most of the movies I've seen of his have been his more recent films, so I'm interested to see what this period of his filmmaking is like. Two more titles. First up here, Akira Kurosawa's Dreams. This is Spine 842 from 1990. I'm not a huge Kurosawa fan, but what I've seen I do like, and this one seems unique for his filmmaking. Just the kind of the plot drew me in about how he made this basically about 8 of his dreams that he had in real life, and dreams are something that are really fascinating to me. That's why I love Lynch so much, because every Lynch film feels so dreamlike, and I'm just fascinated by dreams in real life. I think dreams are a reflection of our subconscious, and I think it's really interesting, to say the least, to explore them. So I'm really excited for this one. This will probably be my first watch of a Kurosawa film in the Criterion Collection. I have maybe one other of his movies that I haven't actually checked out yet, so I'm really excited to dive into this one. And then the final title that I picked up here is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I mentioned this one, my bad. No edits. I mentioned this one in my shopping video about how I'm kind of getting interested in the life of Hunter S. Thompson, and I've got a couple of his books, including this one that the film is based on. So, and it's got Johnny Depp in it. I love Johnny Depp. Terry Gilliam movie. Really excited to dive into this. This is from 1998, Spine 175. Another early Spine number. That's another thing. I like getting these early Spine numbers because I don't have a lot of them. So, all right, that's the haul for the Criterion Collection flash sale, March of 2022. Go ahead and let me know in the comments what you guys picked up if you were able to hit up the flash sale. Always a great time. And we got a few months left until the Barnes & Noble sale. So these 13 titles should definitely tide me over until then. And let's be honest, I'm not going to watch all 13 of these before the next sale whenever I buy a bunch more titles that I haven't seen before. It's an addiction, the Criterion Collection, but nonetheless, I love it so much because they're fantastic releases, and these are titles that I probably would not discover without a label like Criterion. So I do love them so much. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you later.